the soul and God are in the same place. And Maya is also in the same place. Because the world is made from Maya. And we souls are in the world. So the soul and Maya are in the same place. And God is pervading the soul and pervading Maya. So God, the soul and Maya are all in the same place. What is separating us then? What is the problem? One lady celebrated her 110th birthday. So reporters came to know about it. They all poured in. One of them said, "What is the most exciting thing about your 110th birthday?" The lady said, "There is no peer pressure." So God doesn't have any peer pressure, right? Because yasmat param na paramasti kinchit, there's nobody beyond him. He is now revealing his glories for us. Now remember, it's not because he has an ego. He is revealing it out of his kindness. The same act can be done with the intention of self-praise. The intention is the inner thing. We tend to jump to conclusions from externals. So God is doing this glorification not because He loves to boost His pride, but because it will nourish Arjun's devotion. And that is why he is now started off. And he says, "Arjun, I am seated in the hearts of all living beings. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthitah." So the God who's sitting inside must be a smaller God. Right? Like if you go to Madrikashram, he's a bigger God there. Madrikashram, Rameshwaram, Dwarka and Jagannath Puri, that is a bigger God, and the God sitting inside is a smaller God. Correct? He is complete and perfect in His Golok, in the temples, inside us and everywhere. Prabhu Vyapaka Sarvatra Samana. He is pervading everywhere equally. Premate prakat ho hi Bhagavana. Now, if we could actually believe that the Master of infinite universes is sitting inside me, imagine we would become God realized. The disconnect is not because God is far away from us. The disconnect is our inability to have faith in this. God says, "I am standing in front of you. Believe me, and I'll reveal myself." We say it's so easy to see God. How can that be? God says, "If you don't have faith, then you have pushed me far from the beginning itself. I'm in no hurry. When you develop faith, I'll show myself to you." So imagine, He is closer to us than the closest thing. The word closeness also doesn't apply to Him. Because let us say you bring one object close to the next and closer until there's a hair's breadth of gap. There's still a hair's breadth of gap. And in the case of God, that gap is also obliterated. Ya Atmani Tishtati, the Kanva Shakha of the Vedas say, Yo Akshare Tishthan, the Madhyandini Shakha of the Vedas says, Ya Atma Namantaro Yamayati. He is sitting inside your soul, energizing you. So where is the question of distinction? In the Bhagavad, there is an interesting episode in the 10th canto. The gopis, when Sri Krishna was a little, his childhood leelas, the gopis would go to the house of Nand and Yashoda to have darshan of Sri Krishna. Very interesting. Now they make excuses. So they come to sell dahi, yogurt. The one gopi comes, lo dahi, lo dahi. Now obviously you should go and sell in a place where there will be demand for dahi. Go and sell it in Mathura. And you're coming to the house of Nand Baba, who's got all these cows himself. But she's not interested in selling dahi. She's thinking that this Nand Lal, the son of Nand Baba, may come out and I may have darshan. So she comes, lo dahi, and her mind is completely absorbed in Sri Krishna. So instead then she starts saying, lo Sri Krishna, lo Shyam Sundar, lo Madhusudan. She's selling God. When Shukadev related this to Parikshit, Parikshit said, Maharaj, this thing is not comprehensible to my intellect because every mother loves her child. Why were the gopis going to have darshan of Yashoda's child? Even the cows, you see, the cows have got a very special property, this Indian Gorani. If there's a herd of 500 cows and you separate one calf from its mother and leave the calf will keep seeing, looking and go straight to its mother. If you have a buffalo's child, go and stand anywhere. But if the calf goes and stands next to another mother, the mother kicks. You're not my child, get out. So, even the animals, they love their own child. Why were the gopis going to see the child of Nanda and Yashoda? This was a question by Parikshit, the listener of the Bhagavad, addressed to Shukadev, the speaker. Brahmana paro bhavet Krishna hayan prema katam bhavet yo bhuta purvastokeshu shodh bhaveshvapi kathyatam. So, Shukadev gives a tremendous answer. He says, look, Krishna menma vehitva matma namakhilatmanam jagat hitaya sopyatra dehi va bhati mayaya. Parikshit, this Krishna, he is not only Yashodanandan, he is the Atma of everybody's Atma. What does that mean? See, you are the soul and you have a body. Your soul is the body of God. Your soul is the body of God and He is the soul of your soul. Hareri sakshat bhagavan sharirina matma jhashana mivatoyamipsitam. So that is the kind of relationship we have with God. Only problem is we have forgotten it. Otherwise, the soul and God are in the same place. And Maya is also in the same place. Because the world is made from Maya. And we souls are in the world. So the soul and Maya are in the same place. And God is pervading the soul and pervading Maya. So God, the soul and Maya are all in the same place. What is separating us then? What is the problem? The problem is the consciousness. The consciousness is turned around. This is the vimukhata, viyog. And what is required is the sanyog. That is why what is true yoga? This question is necessary in the US. Because you got so many yogas out here. Right? Goat yoga, beer yoga, hot yoga. Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says, Hari ka viyogi jeev Govind Radhe Sancho yoga soi jo Hari se milade. The jeev is in viyog with God. True yoga. is that which will help the soul unite with God. Hari se milave na jo Govind Radhe, vah yoga yoga na kuyoga bata de. Then if that purpose is not served, it is not yoga, it is kuyog. That is what Tulsidas ji says in the Ramayana as well. He says, Yoga, Kuyoga, Jnana, Ajnanu, Jah nahi Ram, Prem Paradhanu. If your spiritual practice doesn't have love, doesn't have bhakti for God, then it is Ajnan, it is Kuyog, it is incomplete. So Sri Krishna says, look Arjun, I am sitting inside everyone. I am the beginning, the middle and end of all living beings. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhriguji Maharaj's story is related. Now you've heard of sage Bhrigu. You've heard of the Bhrigu Samhita, the astrological treatise. Bhrigu wanted divine knowledge. And Bhrigu said, I need a guru now. So whom should I make my guru? And he decided, my father, Varuna Devata, the god of the ocean, is so knowledgeable. He is a Brahmagyani. There is no need to search anywhere. There is no need to Google for guru and find out 5 billion websites of gurus. Why not make my father as my guru? Bhrigu went to his father and said, Pitaji, today I am not here as your son, but as a student. I have a query. That supreme divine entity, whom somebody refers to as Brahman, somebody says Paramatma, someone says Bhagavan, Ram, Sham, Krishna, Govind, Shiv, etc. Who is that? So Varun responded, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantya bhisamvishanti. Look, Bhrigu, God is He, from whom all living beings have emanated. All of us have emanated from God. So He is the beginning of all beings. God is He within whom everyone is situated. Let us say that there is a mobile. Now the mobile is being held by the hand. It needs a support for being held. So the hand is called Dharak in Sanskrit, and this is called Dharyaman. Can the mobile become the Dharak of the hand? It cannot. It doesn't have any basis. Likewise, God is the Dharak of all of creation. He is upholding all of us. We are all residing within Him. And what will happen when you will get liberated? What will happen when you get liberated? You'll go to His divine abode beyond Maya. Na tadbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tadham paramam mama. Arjun, where this Maya cannot go, where this sun and moon have got no entry, where going once you will never return, that's my divine abode. Somebody calls it Vaikunt, somebody says Saket, somebody says Golok, somebody says Akshardham. That divine abode. So He is the end, He is the middle, and He is the source, the beginning of all of us. Now if somebody gave you $1 billion without revealing his name, who was this? Who was this? And suddenly you come to know it was this guy. Won't you fall in love with him? So the knowledge will lead to love. He's giving you the knowledge by which you can love Him. If you think deeply about this knowledge.